Good morning. It's Friday, April 24th, 2020, and I want to share with you the memory I have about being in New York City during the blackout that occurred on July 13th, 1977. I was living on the east side of Manhattan in a neighborhood called Murray Hill, not far from the Empire State Building. But I was working at a telephone switchboard place on the west side of Manhattan, which meant that, and I was working on the midnight shift, very late at night, which meant that I had to walk from the east side to the west side at night, and I did on that night that the lights went out. I don't remember exactly what time they went out, but Manhattan was dark. And I had to go cross through Times Square, which is, one of the busiest intersections in the world, Broadway and 42nd Street. I remember walking past there with these young kids from Harlem on bicycles. I remember riding around shouting, "Protection, $5, protection, $5. And drivers, because the street lights weren't working, they got out of their cars and they were directing traffic at Broadway and 42nd Street. I mean, it was pretty remarkable. I mean, this chaos, but, New Yorkers, they were managing things. Or so I thought, because I continued walking to, can't remember exactly where this telephone switchboard office was located. It was in an old railroad apartment. And what that means is it was an old tenement building, really. On the second floor, you had to walk up a rickety flight of stairs in a narrow building that went from the front of the street all the way to the back. They called them railroad apartments. And that's where this telephone switchboard was. Well, when I got there to relieve the young woman who was working the earlier evening shift, she had panicked when the lights went out. And she lit newspapers on fire in the office for lights. So I'm walking in, and the place is full of smoke, and oh my God. So I got some water out of the bathroom, I guess, doused the fire. Thank God I managed. It wasn't out of control, but it would have been if I hadn't arrived. David to the rescue. And so then I went downstairs. There was a little grocery store, and it was still open at that hour. And those tall wax candles? Yeah. Before the lights went out, they cost about, I don't know, maybe 50 cents. They were selling them now for like $2 a piece. Yeah. So I bought a couple of candles, as many as I could manage, brought them back upstairs, and I don't remember. I don't think I took a lot of telephone calls because it was so crazy, But anyway, that was my memory of the blackout of 1977. As Rosanna Dana used to say, it's always something. So anyway, be fabulous.